Hello, fellow colleagues at the Innovation for Equity EdTech Summit. I am so happy to be able to send this video to you, give you a little information about what's happening in Atlanta, Georgia. I am Dr. Muhsinah Morris, Metaversity Director and Chancellor of Morehouse in the Metaverse. You may be wondering why I'm not here with you, but I'm sending a video. Please keep me in your thoughts as I undergo another surgery on today. And I have a long road to recovery. So thank you for allowing me this opportunity to have you here. This morning, I want to talk about using immersive technology to future-proof pathways for our young people. Thank you, Innovation for Equity, for having me. I am the director, like I said, of Morehouse University, and I also am an assistant professor in the education department, nested in the professional and continuing studies at Morehouse College. So I stand here as one, but I'm really standing as many. And by that, I mean, there are so many people that I owe and I must pay homage to because they have stood before me strong enough for me to climb on their shoulders to get to where I need to go. And that's important to me that you know that I am here speaking on behalf of my colleagues that pioneered this pathway with me. I'm here standing on the support of all of our Morehouse scholars and all of the other children and people that I have taught over the years. I stand on the shoulders and show for obviously my parents and my siblings and my family and extended relatives, my husband, my children, etc. So when you see me, I want you to see more than just me. I want you to see many, many voices being told and me being able to be the spokesperson or the voice for those who may not have the voice to articulate it themselves. So this is my resume on the slide. I think the most important part, the most proud part of it for me is that last line where it says wife, mama, 5 sons, and an autism advocate. So I had 2 sons diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, and one of them has very moderate needs. That means that he can't be really left alone, and he can take care of some basic needs, but not all. So all of the research that you'll see that I talk about deals with autism or intersect the neurodivergent community because my lab is focused on helping inclusivity through technological solutions for those who have autism and other developmental disabilities. And so we talk about metacognition, we talk about using alternative therapies like cannabis chemistry and understanding how to analyze plant-based oil. We develop and implement chemistry courses in VR, which is the first ever, I'm the first to ever do full course. And building 21st century skills with VR and STEM education. So those are the 4 C's: communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking skills. I add another one, I call it the 5 C's. So I added compassion because you definitely need that. I am also proud to be the CEO and founder of Metaverse United, where we help you find where you belong in the metaverse. And you can find me at unitethemetaverse.com. Opportunistic reality is very important. And I say that it is very important because it's the word that I coined to explain how extended reality technologies and education create a new pathway for students, regardless of their discipline. It helps them to chart their path to success in a $1.5 trillion industry. That for me is opportunistic reality, not necessarily just for my students, but also for my professors that I work with, my colleagues. This is our trailer, and this is what Morehouse University started out. Make sure I'm sharing the right screen. So as you can see, Morehouse professors are transforming higher education, and I'm proud to be in that number. I'm going to make sure I'm sharing the right screen with you so that we can continue our talk. So opportunistic reality is that way to chart your pathway. And these are what some of the words that you will hear me speak mean. But it's all about building the metaverse table. I don't want my students to just have a seat at a table. I want them to have the ability to build it. And it's going to take all of us. Because honestly, the baby boomers are leaving the workplace and they are going on with their lives. But that means that because they were the largest generation of workers, that we now, as the workforce, will have to do 4 to 6 jobs that are left vacant because we don't have people to fill them. One of the things that I always tell people is like, no, a robot is not going to replace you, but you definitely do want a robot that is able to be efficient, or AI that helps you be efficient and prioritize tasks and get through things easier, because you will be stuck with being burnt out doing 4 to 5 people's jobs. And that's how we end up in a terrible cycle of what I call forced labor, where, crime rates go up and people are just desperate, and therefore they become the labor force through, criminal activity and being caught in the penal system. And that is definitely not what we want for our future. So I tell you now to go ahead and be that innovator, be that creator, create the early adopters who will use this. Make sure that you are present and that you are trying to learn new technology. and do not be afraid of failing forward. We entered the metaverse in 2021, and this was during the time we were all remote. So at Morehouse College, we had the opportunity to use the MetaQuest 2 headset, where we taught 3 classes: biology, focused on men's health, history, our world history course, and my chemistry, advanced inorganic chemistry course. Those are all 3 different levels of students that come in and take those courses. For biology, usually the cohort of students are non-science majors, which is interesting because we converted a few of them to biology majors, but only because they felt like they finally were confident enough to say that they had the aptitude to do the work before they were afraid. So it gives hope and restores joy and dreams to you as well. I think the most promising piece of information that you need to know is that it increased student achievement. When we looked at the data for students coming to traditional classrooms, overall their student achievement was 84% on average. Same thing for online learning. And by online learning, that means that we use our LMS systems like Word Collaborate. That's what Dr. Oville Hamilton used. But the same thing is if you use Zoom or Google Meet or any other Microsoft Teams, any other collaboration tool, and you taught online and you were fully remote. So what we saw was face-to-face and online classrooms are pretty much the same. When we added virtual reality as a modality and made it the classroom, we saw 11.9% better student achievement than we did with face-to-face, traditional, and online courses. This is attributed, in our opinion, to the increase of student attendance. So student attendance also increased by 10 percentage points, which is huge. So students were not only attending class, students were totally engaged because they were distraction free in the virtual reality headset. So we use the MetaQuest 2, which is like right here. So they're completely immersed in this world, and that ability to pay attention throughout an entire session on top of not missing any courses because you're so excited to be there, leads to increased achievement. And so it's a modality that definitely needs to be recognized and understood. If you want to go see more about our results, you can do that at victoryxr.com/Morehouse results. So if you go to that page, you can see all of the raw data of engagement metrics from Morehouse. You can see our me explaining it. You can see the overview of our courses and what has been taught over the semester. So we have really changed the way that teaching and learning happens. It's metaverse learning. I'm not sure that you all saw that. Let me make sure that you all saw what I was looking at. These are the results, and you can look at all of the engagement metrics: attendance, grade, student achievement, engagement. You can look at our videos. You can also look at the course center around students, the overview, breakdown, the overview of courses we taught it, what type of course it was. And these are all courses that Morehouse College has created in virtual reality. We are the blueprint. There was no one before us to teach full classes. And that is something that I'm super proud of. But college wouldn't be college without experiences, and the metaverse the Metaversity wouldn't be the Metaversity without those same things. And so we celebrate commencement and our Founders Day gala, a Candle in the Dark gala, also in the Metaverse. We engage our alumni. We also do meditation Mondays in our Metaversity to give our students an outlet to talk about their mental health. And we focus on educators' well-being and mental health as a part of our Morehouse and MCEE, or Morehouse Center for Excellence in Education, our lab school project with Utopian Academy. So we have research fellows that assist in the experimental design process, data collection, data analytics. But this time we focused on educator well-being for middle grade educators in the K-12 environment and correlated how well mindfulness worked for them in immersive technology. One of the things that did, besides increase student grades because they were more present, but it also got them used to the equipment in a way that felt really natural. So now they're actually in training, learning how to use this for educational purposes. But it all started with just allowing the instructor, who may not be technical at all or have ever been in a virtual reality headset, the opportunity to focus on something other than trying to actually deliver a lesson to students. But that they first started to work on themselves and get comfortable with the equipment. And then by the time it's time to implement any lessons, they would have gotten very comfortable with the technology at hand. And that's important to get it infused in K-12. And at Morehouse, we're going to continue to mold disciplined minds with intention. So we will be doing social justice documentaries in virtual reality, led by Professor Nikki Harris. Mindfulness practice will continue. Fit virtual reality with the kinesiology program, Dr. Michael Douglas and Dr. Joyce Farrell. We'll also do our outreach still with the K-12 partners, Utopian Academy, and we'll be working with the Office of Health Professions on getting our students ready using the human cadaver lab. We're also researching culturally appropriate avatars and representation in the metaverse, and that's led by Dr. Monique Lewis. And we're creating culturally responsive spaces. Our faculty and students are becoming creators. We're also focused on generational wealth because there's a new metaverse economy, NFTs, entrepreneurship, intellectual property, so many other things that are necessary that our students pay attention to and understand, because the future is bright and we want to make sure that we boost creativity and community for our students. It gives them a sense of agency, and human agency is defined as an individual's capacity to determine and make meaning from their own environment through purpose, consciousness, and reflective and creative action. Houston said this in her reflections in a child protection study which examined power in social life. But it is true, until people have agency, they don't necessarily feel empowered to be great or to achieve. So we want our students to have a sense of agency. This, what I just talked about, what I just showed, is an example of opportunistic reality. And it's important for us as a historically Black college and university at Morehouse because we have to overcome 20 generations of not being able to be educated. And that means that we're already far behind any other demographic. And so making sure our students understand the way that the metaverse can be used, whether it's in business or education or political science or history, government in any kind of way, then we need to talk to not just the STEM students, not just software engineers, not just the computer scientists, but we need all hands on deck from all people in different disciplines. And for the record, we don't gamify our education. Our students lessons in the metaverse come all from us as the creator, as the professor who has autonomy. However, at the end, they don't get a token. It's not a tokenized, gamified system. This is them really getting a auditory, visual, and kinesthetic experience and learning all at one time. I call this immersive learning metaversive learning because it's a culmination of majority of your senses all taking place at one time in one space in a synchronous learning environment. And it gives students the opportunity to really dive deep into the lesson and be embodied in it. And so it encourages them at the end to go and do more work in that area, which is very powerful. This is the dream team, the ultimate team. These are all of the people who have taken part in Mars in the Metaverse. These are my colleagues. These are my friends. These are my people. These are my people who, we fell asleep in headsets at night, building this spaceship as we are going to space. We become our own support team. We hold on to one another when we don't really understand, and we jump in and do things in classes that others wouldn't necessarily do, but it makes for a broader community, and our students love it. So before I go, I'd just like to thank Angela Roman, Stanley Celestine, and the Innovation for Equity EdTech Conference for the invitation. I know I was pretty long-winded, so I understand if this probably is something that I might need to put up on YouTube and then have you all look at later. But if you're interested in becoming a collaborator on this project, please contact me, muhsinah.morris@morehouse.edu, or you can go to unitethemetaverse.com. I want a special shout out also to Victory XR. The CEO is Steve Grubb, a small exit company out of Iowa, but they built the digital twins of Morehouse and have put together the Meta 10 project that we're a part of. And we are the inaugural group, which is so very special that Morehouse is the blueprint for multiple institutions. So we brought on 9 more institutions, a couple are HBCUs, and we're bringing on more. So if you want to join us, please do so. Feel free to call me and I'll get you set. And if you're having trouble figuring out where you belong, also contact me, because we have to build the metaverse table so that we understand how valuable we are, how creative we are, how we have the aptitude, whether you're a creator or whether you are a coder. Please, let's talk across disciplines about how to get this done. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for spending time with me. And I appreciate the well wishes and all of the support that I feel from each and every one of you. Thank you so much again. And I will be in touch. I can't wait to next year where I really can see you. So if you're going to any other conferences like South by Southwest or ASCGSB or anything, and you just want to know if I'm going to be there or anywhere else, then let me know. And I will make time to spend time with you because I missed you this time. So take care of yourself, be well, be blessed. Thank you.